of the day is that Kem is out. Kem had a knee swell up on him after yesterday's practice. Let's see. Chris has been moved to, I think, questionable, and Otto's out. That would be the hell, and Malachi's available. So that's the health update. Available, yes. Nope. It's the other one. I do know. It's the other one. Yep. Okay, go ahead.
Much was made of Pascal's summer workouts, and he was ready to go because he had the first summer in 2 years to prepare. How have you seen that sort of manifest itself through the preseason?
Well, I think he came in probably as sharp as anybody, first of all, just in all facets of it, just with his skills and with his conditioning and all that stuff. You know, and I think he's been pretty impressive at both ends as a two-way player, and still say that's, you know, what he needs to be, who he is. And to me, when he's energized defensively, it always translates to him being energized offensively too. So I think he's probably ready to go, Doug. Yeah.
Shooting has always been a thing with him, three-point shooting. He needs to develop. Have you seen development in that at all, or do you agree that he needs to amp it up?
No, I mean, he's certainly worked very hard at it, Doug, and it has continued to develop. I think there's, for me, he's got to continue to take him in the games. I think he's still at the stage where he needs to make that part of his game every night, and some nights you got to live with the results when they aren't quite what you want, but you still got to take the right ones, right? If they're there in their rhythm, he's got to take them, and that's to me where I'd probably be an improvement area for him to just kind of across the board, like each night have a good number of those that he's taking, because he's always going to get his share of them, I think, if he's taking them. So I think that should be a consistent part of him, not like miss a couple then all of a sudden shy away from it. Like he's got to take them. Yeah.
Speaking to guys last week or two about their individual goals, a lot of guys mentioning all-star or all-NBA, all-defense. You've always been big on helping guys get to where they want to go, whether that's all-star end-of-season stuff, contractual stuff. Mm-hmm. How do you balance everybody's understandably ambitious goals with sort of the collective and the sacrifice that it takes to get guys?
Yeah, well, I think that our message from the top down always is those goals are great and fine. First of all, right? I think we understand that we're playing a team sport, but there's individual aspirations for everybody, right? So just fine, right? We accept that. But from the top down, and I just think that everybody realizes that most of those awards, if not all of them, go to teams that are winning, right? So we constantly, when those talks are brought to us, or those kind of goals or whatever, I always say a couple things, right? Like it's going to matter where the team is. But you got to always understand that it's going to matter where the team is. So you've always got to make the right play, right? Play with effort on defense, make the right play. And two, what's the plan, right? What's the plan to, everybody can say anything about, hey, I'd like to do this, right? But quickly you better have a plan to start working towards that thing. So I think that's how we approach it. And I think that's kind of a constant message that we deliver all the time.
I come from Spanish newspapers, so my question is about Juancho at the moment. What do you expect from Juancho this season?
Yeah, I've liked what he brings. Juancho's, I think he's got a really good feel for the game. He does a lot of little things, right? He understands how to play. That's good, right? I think he's a great teammate. We're going to need him. He's in the rotation. He's a guy that can hit from the perimeter, obviously, and we need that spacing from him. And that's really it, man. Just play his game, and his game is, he cuts, he passes, he rebounds, he handles a bit. His primary skill of need for our situation is probably his spacing and his shooting. So he's got to, again, have the confidence to let him rip, man. When he gets them swung around to him, he's got to take them.
We talked about continuity a bit yesterday, but specifically on the defensive end compared to last season, do you have that confidence that you guys are going to be able to hit the ground running on that end of the floor?
I feel good about it, right? I feel good about the defense. I think that it starts to you learn a lot more when you're going into some games and the opponent starts changing, right? So like the things we have to do tomorrow night are going to be different than the things we're going to have to do this weekend, right? And that's what understanding our defense and executing the game plan and all those kind of things, it's really high on our defensive priority list, right? So, I mean, I feel good about where we are. I think they've conceptually grabbed everything. I think they understand what we're doing, right? I mean, you don't do a ton of the game plan-ish stuff in the preseason, but we did enough, right, to understand it. So what we find out now, right? We find out now if we can take, first of all, our effort and our energy out there, everybody that hits the floor, and then can they start executing the schemes and the concepts? Yeah.
What did you most appreciate about Mobley's rookie season?
He's just a really good player, right? I just think he's a really good player. I think he affects winning, right? He does a lot of things that affects winning, both ways, both sides of the ball. Just seems like to have a pretty infectious, winning attitude and as a team player.
Just in general, Cleveland, like you look around the East, they're one of the teams that made some of the most aggressive moves. Your thoughts on it?
Well, I look at them and you sit here and you obviously got a really impressive group there, a backcourt that's, a couple of all-stars and an incredible rookie, coming in, and Jared Allen's a really good center in this league. But when you start looking at their depth, you start seeing them coming off the bench with, their depth, their bench is almost as experienced or more experienced than their front five, their first five, right? So, they come in Neto and LeVert, good players, man, right? Love, good player. Lopez, big, another big, huge, they're a big team, right? So they've got a good, deep team. So the moves they've made, I think, fit their roster, right? They've piled up pretty good. I think they got a deep big man rotation. They got a deep point guard rotation, right? A lot of good players.
I mean, you guys were fifth in the East, and as a result, there are expectations. But when you look at the East, how do you surveil that at this stage?
Well, I think it's really good, right? I think the East looks really good, and it seems like there was a lot of moves made in the offseason that ended up landing in the East, right? So it's good. It was great last year. It's going to improve. I think it's super deep. I don't really get all that much into it. I just try to look at what's in front of me. In front of me is tomorrow night, and we'll figure out how to win and play hard, and then we'll fix what we didn't like the next day and keep what we did like and just keep on trucking down to the next game. Yep.
Scottie said one of his goals this season is to make all defensive team. What would that look like for him other than getting better defensively? What specifically would you want to see?
No, I mean, listen, he's a good defender. He's a really good defender, and you guys see it. And he does a lot of things. He can go out and pressure the ball full court at his size, right? And that's, I think, impressive that he can do it, likes to do it, wants to do it, will do it, all that stuff. That's one thing. He can guard every position, again, because of his size. So that makes him a switch candidate. It makes him an inside player. It makes him a wing defender. It gives us a chance to switch if he's guarding the screener and the screen and roll, all kinds of things. I don't know, man. He's a really good defender. I don't see why he couldn't make it.
When you guys drafted Christian Poroko, you said here something about how you don't expect him to be a guy you switch everything with, but in emergency situations, you think he'll hold up. From what you've seen in preseason so far, how do you feel about his switching ability?
Yep, about the same, right? I'd say that Christian, again, he's been a really solid player, right? I think that's really like. Well, that doesn't sound like amazing to say that, but it is. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes out there, right? So he fits in. Fits in with the first group, fits in with the second group. He just fits in as a good team player. As far as the switching, I mean, he's gonna be, in coverage a lot and playing our 5-man coverages. He will, in emergencies or whatever, get into some switching, and he will not on accident or not in emergencies get in some switching situations. And I feel pretty good about it. I think he's got a combination of pretty good feet. He certainly has some length. He's got a combination of chase down ability, right? If a guard gets by him, he won't give up and maybe catch him at the end of the drive too. And that's kind of what you need if you're going to be able to do that. Just need some minutes. He just needs some minutes now and some experience, yeah.
Yannick, another question about Spanish basketball, if you allow me.
Yeah, it's okay.
You have Raptors has a tradition of Spanish players. You have worked with Ibaka, with Margasol, with Scariolo, that is nearly Spanish.
Yeah.
Well,
he should be by now, right?
I don't know when you arrived as a
Yeah.
Well, in general, what is your opinion about the Spanish people has gone in different countries?
Yeah, I mean, listen. First of all, their record kind of speaks for itself, right? What they've been able to accomplish internationally, all those guys, coach, right? Scariola's done an incredible job. I think this summer he probably gets more credit than ever, right? Everybody expected that great dynasty of a team is all gone, and he goes out there and wins it again, right? So obviously it's a deep tradition. It's long going for a number of years now, and guys that know how to play, man. The guys, Gasol, Juancho, the guys that we've had really know how to play the game.
Still get amped up for opening night as you would have earlier in your career?
Not as amped up, but just because you've been doing it for so long, it's just like a regular game. Like you're starting a new season, obviously, but I always try to treat it like it's a regular game. Go out there, I know it's going to be a lot of emotions and everything on the first game of the season, but at the end of the day, our biggest and ultimate goal is what's on that board over there is win. So that's the only thing that matters.
This is deep as you can remember the East being in a while.
Yes. Yes. I mean, when I first started seeing all the trades going down and guys coming over to the east side, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a tough one this year. But, I like the challenge. I like that the league is much more competitive, on both sides of the basketball, which is the East and the West. But, this is, as good as it gets as far as basketball. You never know what team is going to be in the top 8 or the top 6. Anybody can, prevail at the end, and it's definitely going to go down to the wire. You're going to have a lot of close games, a lot of tough ones. I think this is going to be some of the best basketball we've seen in a long time. We thought, the bubble was some great basketball. Now, that the East and the West is super competitive and guys are kind of splitting up. It's going to be a really, really competitive, scene this year on the season and what's going to happen.
Do you think getting off to a good start will be important for you guys?
It's very important. Yeah. Very important. Like, usually teams are like, inching into the season. We can't inch in. We have to, make sure we take care of business each and every game. Come, play to win each and every night, making sure that, we're executing and doing the things that, Nick and the rest of the group is putting on the board for us, and just making sure that, overall, we do hit some tough stretches, some tough battles, fight a little bit of adversity, that we're able to prevail through and make sure that, we're going in stride and we're just continuing to get better each and every day.
Does the overall tone feel a little bit different this year with this specific group? Because last year a lot of guys were still learning, kind of coming into the system. You guys being on the same page of what you're trying to accomplish this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think guys know exactly what we can do. Last year was just the spark to the fire, and this year we're just ready to just get out there and just make sure that we piggyback off what we did last year and just continue to improve and get better. The starters are going to be great for us, but the bench unit has to be even better than we were last year, coming off and making sure that we're holding leads or gaining more leads and making sure that we're just doing the things that we need to do, because that's going to be a vital piece for every single team in the East now. Obviously, like, the starters have gotten better across the board in the East, but it's the bench units that's going to have to be able to dictate some games. And I think we have the quality caliber guys that can do it.
So much has been made about the length and size of this group, but when you're talking to, say, like a Christian Koloko, what type of advice are you imparting to him to kind of tap into the dynamic and the versatility of his talents?
He got his first start against the Celtics, I think. And the first thing I pulled him aside and said was, "It's your first start, right?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Just keep it simple and do what you do. Do what's gotten you in this position to where Coach said, hey, I'm going to start you tonight." And, that's screening, rebounding, being in the right spot, not overly, complicating things. When you see the team in trouble or you see something happening, that we're not supposed to be doing, run and set a screen. When you run and set a screen, roll to the basket. That's going to, make guys come in, and now we get open threes. Or they might not come to you. You might get a roll to the basket and a dunk. So just understand, your spots and where you're going to score from, but also just keeping it simple. That's the best thing for a young guy. Just keep it simple. Make sure you get the ball in the guys' hands that need it, and then you just play off them.
You think about, past years, teams have either scouted, drafted, or traded to kind of follow like dynasties, right? And kind of follow their mold. You guys essentially are starting your own. What are you hoping to accomplish with this group and kind of staying pat in who you are and your identity?
I think just to kind of be known as a team that's going to battle each and every night, and these first 10, 20 games, we have to establish who we are as a team. We have to establish our identity. Because if you don't establish your identity early, then you're not going to get the calls. You're not going to get, when you want to decide to play physical, you're not going to get those, those plays, and refs are going to start calling things and stuff like that, because generally, they're not used to you doing that. But if it's an expected thing already, then you put yourself in a position to be even better. So we just have to make sure we come out and we use, our athleticism and our physical and our mental toughness, on everybody that we're playing against. And if we do that, then I think it's going to be great for us.
In your experience, does continuity make a big difference early in the season? Like, have you been on teams that have brought back a number of players that have been able to get off to quicker starts?
Yes, I've been on a number of teams that's done that, and we've gotten off to better starts because we were all acclimated with each other. We all knew each other. We knew exactly where certain guys wanted the ball in their spots. We knew the plays. We weren't just trying to learn things on the fly. I think last year everybody was just learning things on the fly. Obviously, you had Pascal, OG, Freddie. Those guys were here. So they kind of knew everything. But all of the new guys, they were transitioning in and just trying to figure out, okay, where am I going to score from? How do I fit into this whole mode of what we're doing? And I think guys are figuring that out now.
Scottie mentioned one of his goals for this season is getting to an all-defensive team. What would he need to do to get to that level? What would make him?
Just continue to guard at a high level that he's been guarding at. Like, Scottie's an amazing basketball player, and I don't even think he knows it. He's so young and he's just scratching the surface, but he's an amazing basketball player that knows how to play the game. He knows what his physical attributes is, and he doesn't try to do anything out of the ordinary. Yeah, sometimes he might do something, but for the most part, he's always playing under control. He's always playing the way we need him to play in order to make us a better team. And as long as on the defensive side of basketball, he continues to pick up the ball, continues to get steals, get in transition, continue to help side defense, block shots, get deflections, which is one of the biggest categories in the league, thus far, which is deflections, because that puts us in a way better position to push opposing teams out on their offense, and it gives us a better situation to where we can play basketball.
Is that the stat you look at first when, I know the team puts a big focus on that, but if you're talking about who the best defensive players in the league are, that's one you go to?
I look at guys that are able to kind of get the star guys that down in percentages, but deflections is one. Contested shots. Everybody knows percentages go down 5-6%. If you contest a shot, or just be in the vicinity of a shot. So, just those type of things. Like guys always paying attention. Guys who are always in the right spot. Making sure that when a guy gets blown by, that you're stepping up and you're covering for him and getting him back in position. Being able to call out certain screens. Just all different types of things. It's a lot of things that go into these defensive stats, but overall, it's a team-oriented defense, and we have to play as a team to win.
To a year ago today, or whatever, at this time.
You say it feels the same. A bunch of excitement. I'm just ready to get out there on the floor be able to try to win with these guys each and every single day. We sacrifice in the gym every day, ready to show it on the court.
You mentioned one of your goals for the season was to make an all-defensive team. What do you think you need to do to get to that level?
Just really bring it every single game. Can't really take a game off, you know. Just got to make that presence when I step on the floor every single game to just really lock in and try to do those little things and just try to help our team win. I feel like our team success is going to help with that. So just trying to do those little things, get block shots, really just try to lock down defenders, get steals, do those little things to really lock in every single game.
Have you found anything kind of easier now in your second year, having been through this all for 12 months?
Do I find anything easier, you said?
What about the game or the role or the job seems a little simpler than it did 12 months ago?
I don't really know. To say I'm more prepared. I know the plays more. You know, I could talk more on the floor. Feels a lot better, I guess. That's all I can say right now. Oh, she was just saying something.
I guess to follow up on Grange's point, is there a point you would say that you kind of shed more instinct coming into the league? You kind of work more so on instinct, and then as you're looking over film and kind of getting more knowledge and consulting, is there a point where you kind of change in that realm? Or do you always go back to it, which is also a okay answer?
No, I'm just trying to play. I just play the game the right way. I play the game the right way every single time when I step on the floor, try to make the right reads. It just comes natural for me, so I don't really know how to answer that.
Is the off-court stuff any easier, like game day routines and?
I really do the same thing, so it's nothing really changes. You know, I'm just really locked into the game.
More comfortable in the city?
I've been comfortable in the city, you know. Yeah. Been comfortable.
What kind of conversations are you having with Christian, who of course is going to be starting this?
You know, I don't know. He don't really come to me to talk, you know. You know, these coaches helping him out a lot. Just try to tell him to roll, set good screens. You know, he knows how to do what he does best. So, you know, the coaches help him out a lot in practice every single day. You see my guy over here working, you know. See, he's setting a good screen and roll right now, about to go dunk the ball, floaters, things like that. So I feel like he's doing what he needs to do. He's working every day to try to get better.
Back-to-back Rookie of the Years?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Is he going to win the Rookie of the Year?
Nah, I'm not no rookie no more, you know.
For him, Christian.
Oh, Christian. We'll see. We'll see. Hoping for my boy, you know. I know he's going to put in a lot of work. He's going to be great this year. We'll see.
Why all defensive team? There's so many other accolades in the NBA. Why are you targeting that one?
I feel like that's what I really do best. When I'm locked in on the defensive end, everything else just comes easier naturally to me. So when you see me really locked in on defensive end, everything else goes really well for me. So that's one thing that I always pride myself on, trying to guard. So I feel like that's my goals.
Did you see the photo shoot that you guys did on Media Day that came out a couple days ago?
Yes, I did.
What was it like being that experience? What was that like for you, and how do you think, I guess, it came out?
It went really well. I think the pictures look really nice, you know. Media Day is always a good day to show yourself, express yourself to the media. So I feel like it was pretty solid. Good time having to take pictures, you know. I would say, yeah. Interviews and things like that. It was all right.
In terms of the pictures, I don't know how much they talked to you, but they said it was about like accentuating the positionlessness of you guys and kind of the length aspects. What did you think about the theme?
Well, I just found out about the theme, so you know, I don't.
What do you think about it now that I told you?
What do you think about it now I told you? You know, we got a lot of long athletic players on this team, so I feel like that's a good way to express ourselves, you know. We got a bunch of people with long wingspans, so I feel like that's a great way to express ourselves.
Brad was just talking about the first 10, 20 games establishing your identity as a team. Do you know yet what the identity is, or do you need to play a few games to know what you guys are or what you want to be?
I feel like things start with us on the defensive end. We really try to focus on that main area. We got a lot of freedom on offense to do what we can do. We have so many players that can do so many different things. So we got a lot of freedom on offense, so we just really try to focus on defense. We know that starts the first thing, deflections, getting out in transition, being able to protect the rim, switching things, sometimes in coverage. So I feel like we know what we do. Defensive is our identity.
Yeah. Sorry for the. My question is always about Juancho. I come from a Spanish newspaper, so my question is about what is your opinion about the contribution of Juancho to the team, no? Until this moment.
I say me, I love Juancho. He's a great guy on and off the floor. I feel like he fits into our system. Being able to shoot, having long arms, being able to just do so many different things on the floor. I feel like he fits into our system, but he's also just a really great guy off the floor as well. I'll be able to laugh, communicate with him a lot. That's my guy. Every time I see him, we always smile. He's a great guy on and off the floor.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Scottie, I know you're close with your whole rookie group. What did you appreciate about what Evan Mobley was able to do last year from afar?
I would say Evan Mobley, he really did his thing last year. He played very well. He looked like the future for that team. They can build around him, do so many different things with him. He's great on the floor, be able to roll to the rim, dunk. He has a little mid-range game. He can do a lot of different things on the floor, alternate shots on the defensive end, block shots, run the floor. He can do so many different things. He's a versatile player.
How long have you known him?
I've known him since we played U15 together, USA. He is my roommate. Back then he was kind of shy. I was trying to get him out of that shyness. He talks way more now. So yeah, I know him since I was 15, 14.
How have those conversations gone in the off season? Obviously, so much was made of you back and forth. His first year, kind of you guys always being compared. What do you guys say to each other in the off season and the work that you guys have put in?
We of course we got each other on Instagram, so we see that each other put in work. We comment on some of each other's stories. I seen that he bought his mom a car. I comment like that's a big thing, buying your mom a car, doing things like that. So we just comment on each other's stories. We both congratulate each other's success. We're friends, so we both congratulate each other's success. So it's all friendship with us two.
Scottie, Nick was saying that what he wants from you this season is just continue to be more aggressive, continue to do more of what you already bring to the table. Being as unselfish as you are, is that something you have to remind yourself to maintain that aggression?
I don't think so. Like I said earlier, it's about me just how locked in I am. When I'm locked in on the floor, so many different things happen. Every game's gonna be different depending on the team you play. So, like I said, I'm just trying to play the game the right way, taking what the defensive is giving me, and just trying to make an impact on the defensive end.